By popular demand, it's a scenario that is about as fair as a goldfish in a blender. It's deathmatch, Solaris style. Hold on to your butts, it's gonna get rough. Seven contenders and only one survivor. This is the Solaris match we've been waiting for. Take your bets now to see who's going to live through this, because bringing it in is Ryzen, riding the Seraph Fallen. Hold the phone, we also got Edric El Toro Gomez riding in the Hyena Black Eye. And hold on to your butts, it's Kicky McAss in the Annihilator Z. Tyrannus, hold the beans chips, and his Nightwolf EX is ready to bring the pain. And coming in from the junk heap himself is Dan the Man Gunderson in his Burninator. Holding down the clan front is Tywin Ogle riding the Mad Tyrant Mark I. And rounding things out with that classic bit of Wobby Tack is the Slash riding in Gladiator. In this no-hold-barred, last-man-standing, full custom mech setup, we are using card initiative to figure out who is going to go first and who is going to follow up the pack. And starting off is Kicky McAss in the Annihilator going after Tywin Ogle and his Tyrant, while on the southern end of the map we see that expensive monstrosity, the Gladiator, try to make a bead for Ryzen. Ryzen doesn't take it kindly, swings around behind him as he steps forward and begins laying it in as Burninator begins moving south towards the Nightwolf on the southern end of the map, but it is responded in kind by Gomez himself as the Black Eye lunges forward into close combat range. Tyrannus Chips evacuates from the situation. He does not want to be close to those TSM monstrosities and tries to get a little bit of range. The Seraph Fallen opens up on the poor, expensive piece of machinery and manages to tag the pilot multiple times, getting it a yellow card in return. We want a good, clean fight here, and we're just not going to accept that kind of shenanigans. Meanwhile, Kicky McAss takes it in the face as Tyrant Ogle hits him over and over again, putting him into the ground and giving him something to think about when he writes home when he loses the match. I tell you, it might not have been the best thing to bring a clan mech to a situation like this, but it sure's paying itself out. And that's not something you can say about the Gladiator, which face-planted itself on the first round of combat. 10 seconds in, the pilot goes down, and he's unconscious. We are getting no life signs in there. There's something wrong with his neuro helmet, and it doesn't look like he's going to get up anytime soon. Gomez backs off onto the northern end of the arena as Dan the Man throttles it to get close, and as the situation is turned, the Nightwolf turns around, taking advantage of it, and just as he does, Kicky McAss activates his mask, activates his supercharger, gets up off the ground, and charges into the back of the Nightwolf. Tywin Ogle is biding his time, finding a place to hide like any good clanner would, that lousy individual, and he's just going to take shots at range while the Seraph Fallen begins looking at his prey over there at the Gladiator and starts unloading round after round into Slash and his currently offline machine. I tell you, this is some good, clean fun we're having. The weather's nice, there's not a better day for this. Just to take the kids out and see some giant mech-on-mech action. Hopefully this will lead into the regionals where we can see some real action. This small-time bit is just going to tide us over for the major leagues. Oh, it looks like the Nightwolf just went down as Tyrannus Chips forgets to calibrate his gyro, and Kicky McAss goes down as well. Oh, what a horrible connection. They seem to have done quite a bit of damage to each other, and it looks like they might be out of the count for the game. Dan the Man can't seem to make anything connect, and poor Slash is still no life signs in the mech. It seems to be dead. There's some sort of electrical problem, and oh, Gomez just jumped on top of the stadium. No, red card. He's endangered the crowd by damaging everything. He's moved outside of the play area. Oh, somebody get that man down there before somebody gets hurt. Oh, and we just heard that he's just insulted the ref for the demand. Oh, does he have no shame? Hide your kids, hide your wife. That man's got a battle mech. What did I say about bringing your kids here? Get them the hell out of there. Tearing his chips, begins moving up the side of the wall, trying to protect his back as he throws shells downrange at the clan mech, while Dan the Man tries to save the crowd by defeating the evil, reckless hyena pilot. Ryzen takes the Seraph Fallen along the middle of the field, trying to get in on the action, ignoring the downed mech that's currently still inoperational, while Kicky McAss backs off into the woods, trying to take a more moderated approach and starts lobbing shells downrange, connecting with the Nightwolf over and over again. Tywin Ogle seems to have a bead over there on Dan the Man Dunderson, and he loads him full of HE shells at range. Gives him something to think about. He's staggering under the load despite it, and he's trying to return fire at best he can against that horrible, horrible height. Oh, he just missed, and a shell just went right near the grandstand. Oh, it's a good thing we got those blast shutters up. I tell you, there's something's wrong with that poor gladiator. We still don't got any kind of vital sign coming out of it. I think the technicians are saying something about a sensor fault. Maybe some sort of soda? This is a good time as any, reminding you to whizzy whim wham wazzle your way down to the convenience store to get yourself some Slurm. It's the drink of champions. No word yet on if that was the drink of choice that was in that mech that put it down, but it did put down Dunderson as he weathers the fight a little bit poorly and lands just inside the arena entrance. Gomez in the black eye seems to be faltering a little. He's panicking from all the radio traffic, and oh, he just jumped out of the ring. He is exiting the match as he hears the exit way and refers to the other players, GD-Tech, and oh, Dunderson is going after him into the parking lot as they are now fighting in the gantry way. And it looks like Ryzen and the Seraph Fallen has turned around, deciding it's better to go finish off the deed that he started as he starts angling back in on Slash and the Gladiator, which still is not responding. Somebody get some crews out there, because something has to be wrong with that pilot. There is something wrong with that mech, but Ryzen is still going after him, weapons armed. And as the two start slugging it out in hand-to-hand combat in the gantry way, it looks like Tywin Ogle is running around the side. He's going to take advantage of this. Oh, the inhumanity. How fair is that? He's shooting them in the back while the Nightwolf swings around to open up a little bit of range, while the Annihilator Z turns around to start pegging the back of Seraph Fallen for opening up a weak point. Oh, this damage is just going to be devastating. You know who sells a good armor plating? Quicksell. You know, I had some order just the other day, and they shipped it straight to my door. 16 tons, left it in the driveway. I got to replace the pavement now. But they delivered it, and that's what's important. There's some radio static. It looks like Slash is getting a little bit more activity. It's coming back online. He's getting up, and Ryzen tags him again. Oh, he goes right through the cockpit with an AC-20. Oh, he kills the pilot. Oh, Slash is dead. Somebody call the authorities. The murder just happened. We're asking for a clean fight, please. Hide the kids. Nobody needed to see that. And it looks like the hyena managed to take the leg off of Dunderson, putting him in the ground, while the whole murder scene takes place on the southern end of the map. Dunderson goes ahead and calls it. He pops his smoke and gets out. There's nothing he can do, and he's right to do that. Just as he do it, Gomez doesn't take a chance in hell and moves back into the ring, trying to open up as much distance as he can from just about everything that will kill him. And it wouldn't really be much now looking at the data. Man, Dunderson did a number on him. The mace went right through his torso, almost killing him outright right there. If it wasn't for the TSM, was just a point below the threshold to engage. And the hyena managed to get hit, and it went right through, just barely, the hardened armor, and took the leg off. Shots are being traded on the southern end of the map as the mechs are moving around, jockeying for position, shooting at range, and generally making a mess of each other. Ryzen takes it on the chin, though, and takes more shots into the back, opening up the center torso. You know what would have been a great mech warrior pilot? Brent Favre. Damage has been splashed all over the mechs. We don't have a single contender that isn't hurt in some sort of way, but definitely Tywin Ogle and his Tyrant has been hit the least, and he still has plenty of munitions to keep going, even though he's almost half empty at this point. But the blood is in the water, as we can see that Ryzen is desperately clawing for life as he's moving to the western end of the field to try to get away from everyone else that would otherwise kill him, because he's been gimped. He's taken a hit to the gyro, and now he's struggling to stay alive. But it's not really slowing down the threat of force as they start opening up all their munitions on the poor Hyena and Gomez, as Gomez is now reconsidering his choice of taking a medium mech to what is clearly an assault mech fight. Uh-oh, what's this? We've got just over the line. It looks like vile collusion has happened just as Gomez goes down for the count. We get word that it is apparently Kicky McAss and Tyrannus Hold the Beans Chips are working together. They have made an alliance before the game even started in exchange for looking at each other's mech sheets. It looks like Kicky McAss is pulling some sort of pre-agreed agreement where Tyrannus is not going to shoot at him for a couple turns. Oh, this is a dark day for Solaris. I mean, what went on to cause this? And with this ignoble truce, it looks like Ryzen goes down to gyro failure. I never thought I'd see the day, folks, when Solaris goes so wrong. Now stay tuned for our sponsors. Need armor, need PPCs, need an SRM carrier or an LRM carrier, LRMs, SRMs, you name it. You want to win a campaign? Go by us. Buy Quick Sell or go home. Also brought to you in part by Gamers on Games, the premier supplier of dice, knives, and electrical-based entertainment. Welcome back to this good game gone ugly as Tywin Ogle and his Tyrant have backed off into the corner of the arena fighting for life. It is clear to him what he has to take on, as it looks like it's Kicky McAss versus Tywin Ogle, as Tyrannus Chips is electing to stay out of the fight. So desperate to stay in the fight, Tywin Ogle is separating his shots. He's tagging the Annihilator with everything he can and is emptying the long-range munitions at the Nightwolf. It's a 2v1 fight, and there's not a whole lot he can do about it right now, and he goes down. He loses his leg, falls on the ground, and continues to fight. It is a bloody fight as he's unloading round after round. The LRM bins are going empty as he's running out of all his munitions, and he's going to have to use the lasers to do everything. And just as he do, it looks like the Annihilator goes down as well. Tywin Ogle's not going down without a fight as Kicky McAss goes down. He manages to open up a couple more laser shots on him and manages to put Kicky McAss down, leaving it just Tywin Ogle versus Tyrannus Chips at range. Tyrannus Chips is opening up. It's ugly. It's brutal. The man is on the ground and he hasn't got an armor point to live through. And he's going to open up the HE bins, and Tyrannus Chips takes the game, winning through vile collusion. And that's been an Ouchies Batrep, and thanks for watching. Yeah, my brother was obviously the big offender in the game. Oh, and I also got a new microphone. I hope you can tell the difference. Usually YouTube screws with the loading and the compression, but I have to admit, in the editing, it's usually pretty obvious that there's something a little off, even if it sounds right to me, because the volume level for my voice will sometimes have to be amped to 120 and the background music down to 5 or something like that. But now I have a blue snowball mic. Let me know if it's any better.